Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and in today's video, we'll see just how far Superman is willing to go to save a group of children. We begin in Metropolis. A boy has just arrived at a facility that was recently purchased by Lex Luthor. The reason he came to this place is that he's playing with a device that indicates the object he's looking for is inside. Upon entering, we see that everything is in terrible condition. The boy asks if there's anyone around who can answer his call. Unfortunately for him, no one responds. As he walks down the hallways, the boy encounters a very bright yellow creature. Upon seeing it, the boy assumes it's a new character introduced in this version of the game. After all, he'd heard new characters were added. The boy picks up the creature and asks if it's hurt or scared. He introduces himself as Z and says he'll take care of it. Suddenly, we hear Z screaming. 2 weeks later, we're with Superman as he flies over the streets of Metropolis. The Man of Steel is deeply concerned. Several children in the city have mysteriously disappeared. This has made him especially worried about his own son. Superman will do whatever it takes to find whoever is behind this. The parents of the missing children feel like their hearts have been ripped from their chests. They need a reason to hope, to believe their kids will one day return home. No matter how busy Superman is, he won't rest until he gives them that good news. Later, we see Superman meeting with the parents of the missing children. Among them are Z's parents. His mother asks Superman if there's any news about her son or any of the other missing kids. Superman apologizes. So far, he hasn't found anything. That means the Man of Steel and city authorities will triple their efforts to find them. He also mentions that Clark Kent, from the Daily Planet, will reach out to them to write an article about the case. Anything they can share about their children will help. That way, more people will become aware of what's going on. Photos are also important. Jimmy Olsen will take care of getting some pictures. Jimmy says he'll take the photos as soon as he fixes his camera lens, since for some reason every picture he takes has a yellow glow. One of the parents says it won't help anyway. For the past 2 weeks, a child has vanished every night. The worst part is that no one knows who is taking them. All they know is that tomorrow, another child will likely disappear. Superman understands the parents' desperation, but everyone needs to stay calm so they can overcome this crisis. He'll do everything in his power to bring the children back home. The Man of Steel gives them his word. We're now in a young girl's bedroom while she sleeps. Suddenly, Z appears in front of her and wakes her up. The girl asks who he is, then tells him to go back to his room or she'll start screaming. Z says that's exactly what he's hoping for. If she screams, he can show her what he does to the parents of screaming children. The girl tells him to stay away. She's getting scared. Z says that's the whole point. We return to Superman. After investigating, he finds glowing yellow footprints on the ground. He figures Jimmy must have come across something like this. The problem wasn't his camera, it was this yellow radiation. Whatever it is, it feels like an emotion. Detecting it causes Superman slight pain. It feels like knives stabbing into his optic nerves. Clearly, this energy is from outer space. Unfortunately for Superman, there's no Green Lantern around right now to help him. The footprints are too small to belong to an adult, so they might be from any child. A bit further on, we see Z holding the girl by the hand. He tells her to hurry up. There are other children waiting for them. Suddenly, Superman arrives. The Man of Steel tells them there's a city-wide curfew. No minor should be out alone. Many parents are deeply worried, so he's taking them back. Superman recognizes Z. He was the first one reported missing. A lot of people are looking for him and the others. Superman asks him where he's been. He's here to help. Z says this is much bigger than Superman and that he doesn't want his help. Out of nowhere, Z attacks Superman, slamming him into a wall. Apparently, the Man of Steel isn't as strong as he looks. Z says Superman will be his next target. Superman tells him he doesn't know who's controlling him, but he needs to cool off while he tries to help. Superman uses his freeze breath to immobilize Z. Suddenly, Superman is attacked from behind. It's the girl Z had just kidnapped. She thaws Z out and tells him Superman is stronger than the others. He won't be easy to catch. Superman tells them to stop. He's only trying to help. The attack he just received caused major damage. It feels like his body is frozen. Z tells him to get up and become one of them. Then he hits Superman with another powerful blow. The impact knocks Superman unconscious. The kids take this opportunity to escape. Shortly after, the police arrive and find Superman. An officer tries to help him up. Superman thanks him but says he can do it himself. Superman knows that if there's no sign of any children, it's because he was unconscious for too long. But now he understands what he's looking for, and that's fear. He tells the officers that emergency services need to be on high alert. As soon as he discovers where the children are, he'll let them know immediately. 14 days ago, children began disappearing from their homes. Anxiety spread across all of Metropolis. Panic ignited like wildfire. 6 million people are too afraid to go out at night. A masterpiece has been painted across the city. The color yellow is here. That's the color of Sinestro. He is here, but Superman can't find him. All he needs to do is look closely. He must focus to detect the spectrum of fear. After searching, he finally succeeds. Superman arrives at an abandoned house. Someone was already waiting for him. Inside, the cries of children echo through the house. They call for their mothers, praying that their fathers will rescue them. But no one can save them, not even Superman. His heart is beating faster than a speeding bullet. Fear grows in his gut. That fear is overwhelming. As Superman moves forward, the terror intensifies. It reaches a peak when he finally finds the children. They are trapped in a glowing yellow web. The children beg Superman to help them. Z stands among them. He tells Superman that he is very hungry. He'll eat the Man of Steel to satisfy his hunger. Superman realizes he was wrong. Sinestro wasn't the one kidnapping the children. This is much worse. Z says Sinestro is just a small flame, but he is the blazing yellow sun. It doesn't matter who he is. Superman will free the children and then take them off-planet, so no more innocent kids can be hurt again. Superman tells him to stop using this helpless child. Or is he simply a coward, hiding behind the boy because he's afraid to face him directly? The entity reveals itself. It is not afraid, it is fear. Parallax stands before Superman. He is starving, and that's why he came to this planet. Now, Superman is his new target. Parallax strikes first. Superman is caught in the glowing web with the other children. The Man of Steel retaliates with his heat vision, but the blast barely harms the fear entity. Parallax uses the children to taunt Superman, telling him he's afraid. Superman knows his son could be in this same situation. Worse still, he's powerless to help these kids. He begs Parallax to get out of his head. The entity replies that Superman's body is finally ready to be taken. Parallax begins to possess Superman. The Man of Steel refuses to let that happen. He uses all his strength to resist. Superman is not afraid of what Parallax might do. Fear can always be overcome. Fear will never win. Still determined, Parallax begins feeding on the children's energy to overpower Superman. The kids scream for help. In darkest day, in brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power. Parallax's might. The children are suffering. Superman begs him to stop. He'll let Parallax take him. On one condition, Parallax must let the children go. Superman isn't afraid, but he knows this is the only way to save them. The possession begins. This time, Superman offers no resistance. Parallax has taken over Superman's body. Now, no one and nothing can stop him. Suddenly, something happens. Parallax Superman is struck from behind. Someone new has arrived, Sinestro. He tells Superman that he's taken something that belongs to him. A battle erupts. Superman strikes Sinestro with brutal force. But this isn't really Superman anymore. This is Parallax. The entity tells Sinestro that it now controls Superman, just as Sinestro once controlled him. Fear always seeps through even the smallest cracks in a wall of courage. When fear takes hold, it's like a steel bolt tightening around your throat, making it impossible to breathe. Sinestro has taught Parallax many things about fear. It doesn't matter whether he is the embodiment of fear or not. He knows what it feels like to be small. To be helpless burns like the sun itself. Sinestro taught fear itself how to seek revenge. And now, as Parallax lands blow after blow on him, he no longer sees arrogance in Sinestro's eyes, only terror. Parallax slams Sinestro violently into the ground. The entity tells him to savor his last moments. He can taste the sweetness of Sinestro's end. Darkness is about to consume the Yellow Lantern. The light behind his eyes fades more and more. Clearly, Sinestro is no match for Parallax. Sinestro tells him to shut up. He's more annoying than Hal Jordan. Suddenly, both Sinestro and Parallax are teleported elsewhere. The ones responsible are the gunners from the planet Qward. They did as their leader commanded. Still, Sinestro is furious. It took them too long. He now orders them to bring Parallax down. But Parallax refuses to be anyone's slave again. He kills several gunners, but the survivors manage to strike him with concentrated energy beams. Parallax is finally subdued. Sinestro welcomes him back to Qward. And as Earthlings say, there's no place like home. Sinestro unleashes a powerful blast and orders the gunners to keep him down. Then he tells them to take him to the planet's core. Deep underground, Sinestro speaks to Parallax. He can see the entity trapped within Superman's subconscious, hiding beneath the blankets of his deepest fears. They are now 4,000 miles beneath the surface. This is the frozen heart of planet Qward. There is nowhere to run, no one to hear them scream, except Sinestro. Parallax tries to strike with Superman's heat vision. Sinestro blocks it with ease and tells him it would be wise to conserve energy inside Superman's body. There are no yellow suns here, only the pale glow of this dying light. It's easier to move a planet from its orbit than to break my will. Sinestro says, fighting is useless. Parallax must accept this reality if he ever wants to get out of here. Superman asks what Sinestro wants from him. Sinestro is surprised that Parallax allowed him to speak. Even for Parallax, this is cruel. Superman will witness what's coming. He must understand that Sinestro is here to save the day. All he wants is for Superman to return what's inside him. With Parallax's power, Sinestro can rebuild his core. Once it's ready, they'll restore order using the glorious power of fear. Superman tells him Parallax is gone. He used Superman as a weapon against Sinestro, but the Man of Steel never wanted this. It was the only way to save the children. Of course, Sinestro doesn't believe him. He attacks and says, "That's exactly what I expected Parallax to say." Superman says Hal wasn't joking when he said Sinestro was a difficult person to deal with. Sinestro knows Superman is determined not to show it, but there's a deep fear hiding behind that steel facade. If Sinestro wants to expose those terrors, he'll have to exorcise Superman to draw Parallax out. Superman doesn't understand what he means by exorcise. Sinestro tells him the time for questions ended long ago. It's time to see what the mighty Superman is truly afraid of. Sinestro enters Superman's mind and forces all his fears to the surface. What we see are his childhood traumas. He used to feel terrified when others called him a freak. He's also haunted by the times he wasn't fast enough to save others. But his greatest fear is that one day John might lose control and end up killing everyone. What if Lois and Superman's teachings weren't enough, and John turns on his father? In this vision, Superboy confronts his father, accusing him of never being there. Superman was always too busy saving the world and never had time for his own son. Superman screams at him to stop, but Superboy ignores him. He just wants his father to see him and pay attention. Could this be connected to the future of the League's children? Or maybe Superboy really does go mad someday and kills everyone. The vision ends. Superman begs Sinestro to stop. And besides, what's supposed to happen now? Wasn't Parallax supposed to come out of his body? Superman insists the entity already left. Sinestro strikes him hard and says it's still inside him. All Superman has to do is surrender to his fears. But Superman believes in something far greater than fear, something Sinestro could never understand. Sinestro is about to attack again when Lisa Drac arrives and stops him. She tells him that Parallax is his own fear. With every lash, the entity hides deeper within. All Sinestro has to do is remove his ring. Then Parallax will come out to seek him. Lisa embraces him and asks him to lower his guard so she can bring it into the light. To Sinestro, this is disappointing. He realizes how easily Parallax took control of her. Now the Lantern must find another way to draw the entity out. What's the best way to do it? Maybe he'll have to break every bone in her body into dust, so there's nowhere left to hide. Suddenly, Sinestro is struck from behind. Parallax has changed hosts. This time, it's a Qwardian gunner. Parallax is a part of all living things. No one will ever stop or contain him again. Sinestro is about to strike the gunner, but before he can harm him, Superman steps in and blocks the attack. The gunner is stunned to see Superman saving him from Sinestro. The Man of Steel won't let anyone else get hurt. Sinestro says he'll take care of him, but first he needs to recapture the entity. Parallax possesses several gunners, who turn and attack their leader. The Yellow Lantern defends himself with ease, though it's starting to bore him. It seems Sinestro won't be able to catch the entity. It's slipping away. Still, Sinestro knows Parallax's destiny is to serve him. His fate is to crush anyone who stands in his way. It doesn't matter what color his enemies are, they'll all bleed. Now that Parallax has shown itself, it may be easier to capture it. The real question is, what will they do with Superman? Well, that's easy. Soon, he'll lose his powers and die here, frozen at the core of Qward. Superman's death isn't a loss. It's time to retreat. Superman thinks otherwise. Now that Sinestro is gone, he takes the chance to break free from his restraints. Once he's free, he'll go after Sinestro to see what he's really made of. Hours have passed since Parallax resurfaced. Sinestro has proven no match for the entity, though he insists on trying to tame it. No matter how long it takes, Sinestro vows to bring it back into his body using sheer willpower. Suddenly, Sinestro falls. Superman arrived just in time to save him. Superman says he's still hurt from his last battle with Hal Jordan, and Sinestro hasn't gained anything here. But at least he's given Superman enough tools to end this. As for Parallax, he's terrifying. And Superman repeats what he said before. He's not afraid. This time, Parallax won't take control of his body. The entity devours him. We are now inside Parallax. Superman says maybe Parallax can't understand this, but fear is part of being alive. Fear exists inside every living being. Superman can't deny that there's a little piece of Parallax in everyone. But no matter what happens, people will always find a way to surprise fear. There is so much more than terror in our hearts. There's also joy, love, and hope. Superman puts on Sinestro's ring, which he took without him noticing. The Man of Steel prepares to strike. A single shard of hope can corner all the fear in the universe. Superman's hope turns into willpower to capture Parallax. He knows Parallax is afraid, but it's safe now, locked inside the ring. Superman promises he won't let Sinestro use it again. He'll hand it over to the Green Lanterns. Without a doubt, they're the best team to guard it. With them, it will be more than safe. Superman has put an end to all of this. Sinestro demands his ring back, or he'll take it by force. Superman tells him he'd like to see him try. Superman stands ready, waiting for his enemy to make a move. Sinestro tells him he'll regret the enemy he made today. It's time for Sinestro and Lisa to leave this planet. Superman speaks to the Gunners. He's seen how Sinestro has intimidated them. They used to be the legendary weaponers of planet Qward. Sinestro turned his back on them and abandoned them. But it's never too late to grow in every way. Maybe they can leave the past behind and become better beings. All they need is to choose what's right. Superman asks the gunner who saved him to fire one of his energy blasts straight at his chest with all his might. That's how he'll escape this planet. But before he does it, Superman asks him to think about his words. What kind of life will they choose after this? The Man of Steel hopes he'll make the right choice. Time passes, and we see Superman in John's room. The boy is fast asleep. Lois asks if he had a rough day. She got the report that the missing children are coming back home. Superman quietly leaves the room. Lois thanks him for finding the kids. And as the two of them share a slice of pie, Superman begins telling her the whole story. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.